What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? How are we doing today? So I wanted to get this off my chest real quick before we dive into the substance of this video. You're not going to see any Planet Zoo on this channel. Come hell or high water, you are not going to see Planet Zoo on this channel. And I got no problem with it. I got no problem with a lot of the big Planco guys, putting their resources and time towards playing Planet Zoo. But I like theme parks. Okay, so if you are a big Planet Coaster content connoisseur, or you just like watching these videos and you're looking for something to fill that void, well, all of our great overlords are off playing in the zoo. Why don't you come over to John Hall Media? We're going to be doing a lot of Planet Coaster, and I figured this would be a great time and opportunity to kind of push that content out a little bit more. So, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. I would appreciate it. You don't have to. You're not obligated to. But it would help out the channel. It would make me feel good. And I can almost guarantee you, I had to turn my monitors down there real quick. I can almost guarantee you will not be disappointed. With all that said, let's just jump right into this video, because I've had a lot of people on Reddit, I've had a lot of people on Instagram coming at my neck going, when are you going to show us this damn park? When are you going to put out a point of view of Iron Bandit, that big thing right there in the background? But we'll get to that in a second. I got stuff I got to do, man. It's been a whirlwind of a last couple months, years, 22 years on this planet. It's been pretty insane, but we got some free time, so let's just, jump right into this. So here is Appalachian Adventure 2.0. Again, if you were following the channel at its inception in the beginning, you do remember Appalachian Adventure. I guess you could call it 1. It was kind of shitty. So this is the beautiful, beautiful reincarnation of that. So there's a lot here. I'm not going to go over everything just because not a lot of things are set in complete stone, but there are some rather, I don't want to say important, but things and details in this park that I think are worthy of, garnering some attention. So here we go. Let's just start with a basic overview. So here is our map. Disregard everything over there in the left corner. That's my graveyard of things I'm not sure if I'm going to use or not, but yes, so here's what we got. You can kind of see a rough outline for a highway here. That's not permanent. I might very well reroute that and change it, but it's just kind of a general idea. And you have what would go right here, Toll Plaza, to get into the parking, the car park. I'm going to start saying car park because I was looking at my analytics, and I got a lot of viewers over there across the pond. So this is me. This is a lot of cultural appropriation, and I do apologize, but I'm going to start saying car park. So you enter the car park over there, and here is said car park, parking lot, whatever you want to call it, but here it is. Again, this is all very rough. It's constantly changing. It's an ever-evolving process, but it will get done eventually. It's just, white lines on pavement is really not the most fun thing to do in this game. You know what it is? Steezy RMCs, baby. Right here. But we'll get back to that in a little bit. So let's go over here. Ah, shit. I do apologize. So what's going to happen is over here, you're going to have kind of like an entrance plaza from the parking lot. Think Busch Gardens, Williamsburg, when you first, you're walking out of the parking lot. And you have that main front plaza, and then you walk down the path to the actual front gates. Big vibe we're going for here. So that'll all roughly go right in this area. Again, all very rough, just kind of laying it out. We will have a tram in the parking lot. I feel like that was something very important that we should incorporate. So you'll go ahead and come down this path right here, and it's really nothing special, but this was actually the first little part of the park that was built, because I knew right off the bat I wanted this to be there to be a lot of terrain in this park. So I just grinded on learning how to, use the terrain tool properly, pushing my patience to the max, really. But now I've got the hang of it at this point. It's really nothing too crazy, but that's what this is. And it's nothing simple. It's a lot of trees and stuff, and that's kind of the vibe we're going for with this park. You walk down here and across this bridge, lovely little pond, and to the front gates. But first, let's talk about this little building right here. So this is just a general kind of pavilion, multi-purpose pavilion, I guess, where you can hold corporate events or, the annual 30-year-old overweight single man convention that I like to call theme park review meetups. Oh, or ACE. I mean, I guess they're kind of the same thing. I'm not a member of ACE, by the way, but they do throw some banging events, so maybe I don't want to burn too many bridges on that front. But that's what this is. It's, picnic benches, lights, and roofs. Anyway, so you come across this bridge, if you want to call it that. It's really more kind of like a dam because I got damn lazy. There's going to be a couple of puns throughout the duration of this video. I do apologize. But come across here, we got a nice fountain and stuff. Makes it look, makes it look pretty. I'll go ahead and walk through here in TEGIDCAM in a sec. But right here, this big empty spot, there was a building there. But upon further review and comparing it to some of the buildings we have built over here in Settlers Avenue, we canned it because it was a pile of dog shit. So that'll get filled in probably with a Tudor inspired architecture kind of building, kind of like what you're seeing right over here. And that'll just be kind of maybe a guest relations or actually stroller rental. That's exactly what's going to go right there. A gift shop and a stroller rental because I do not have that in this park yet. And you need strollers. So yeah, let's see. And then these front gates. Let's talk about these for a split second. These came from a project that I shelved literally after one video. If you're a subscriber and you've been watching the channel for a little bit, you probably remember like 2 Paradise Valley videos, but those were just awful, cringeworthy, angry ranting kind of things. And they're private on my channel now, but I just sounded like such a pissed off little incel, and that is not the vibe I'm going for. So yeah, Paradise Valley, these are those entrances. I just went ahead and replaced some of the more vibrant kind of stucco pieces with wood, and I built these gates, and I used some of the what was that? One of the DLCs. Anyway, it just shows how much I know about this game. But I went ahead and replaced that out, and it looks good. I didn't want anything too grand, anything too big that would kind of overshadow. I think now would actually be a good time to jump into TEGIDCAM. Let's see real quick. I didn't want anything to overshadow the skyline you get walking up to the entrance, and I can actually show you that right now in just a hot second. Let's see. So, fuck it. Let's just start from the top. So here we go down this very, pathy kind of path. It's a path that paths. It's the pathiest of the paths. Anyway, so you come down here, nothing too special, like I said, just very shady, a lot of trees. Again, you are in the mountains. That is the vibe we're going for. I actually never noticed this line of sight right here, but you can see the bear, the wooden roller coaster in the park in the background. So yeah, if you were wondering where Adventure Awaits comes from, and those in that tacky little super epic looking fade from black logo then disappears on my trailers that I think are so artsy and cool, but they're really not. This is Adventure Awaits. This was initially what I wrote right here, and I just thought I would leave it at that, but no, I incorporated it into the logo. So you come down here, build up the hype. Adventure awaits at Appalachian Adventure, and this skyline, baby. Oh shit, not that. This skyline is something. And this is exactly why we did not want to build too big of an entrance. Because if you build something big like a Cedar Fair kind of deal or whatever, it would block this entire line of sight, and I did not want that to happen. Because when you're walking up on this park, it's kind of like, hey, look at all these sick rides, yo. Yeah, so that's why that's a long-winded answer to a very, simple question. But yeah, so you walk in through these gates and you are in Settlers Avenue. Over here, that's an access point to the backstage area, but I'll go over that in just a hot second. And you walk in, and the reason this gazebo is right in your face when you enter the park is because there's this massive hole in here from the pathing. Because if you're familiar with the game, and I assume you are because you're watching this, the pathing tool this sucks. It sucks so bad. I mean, it gets the job done, but you have to be creative in ways to kind of fill things in and make it all flow. But again, I digress. So got this, little gazebo. Theoretically, I feel like that would have been very hard to understand, and chances are it is going to be when I review this video, but theoretically, there will be someone playing, ragtime music or some stuff on the piano up here, and you can just come out and hang. You got the rocking chairs, you got some crates. I just creative ways to add seating that is not functional at all in the game because, only the benches work, and they don't always want to go where you want them to go. So, yes, here's the, I guess, quasi-famous Skyline. There's Bigfoot in the background, the park's B&M dive coaster. I'll do a separate video on that. And then there's the Skycoaster. Probably will do a separate video on that just because I worked on a Skycoaster this summer when I was at King's Dominion. So I know a thing or two about those things, and I really wanted to pay proper homage to Skycoaster operators everywhere. Shout out Brendan, Jacob, Jose, John, all those guys. Love you guys. So, yeah, here we are. Oh, and Jared, by the way. The Universal fanboy Jared. So this is where things get interesting. And I'm going to timestamp the video so you don't have to listen to this if you don't want to listen to all the talking and shit, what have you, whatnot. So this is where it starts getting Busch Gardens-esque, as if the massive dive coaster wasn't enough. So you walk down Settlers Avenue, and you got, all the nice buildings, la-da-da-da-da. Come down here. I do have to finish this up. I do have to detail up this bridge right here where the train crosses by, but that's relatively simple. This sign, go down here, will take you down to Minetown, this way, down in that direction, and this way will take you to Franklin County, which is where we have Iron Bandit. But we'll, again, I'll talk about that more in depth later on or in a different video, just depending on how long this takes. So here we are and I'll exit TEGIDCAM real quick. When you come down Settlers Avenue, I really wanted there to be that, perspective, that line of sight of it's named, the Arrow Looper that you see is named the Mighty Appalachian Loopin Machine. Kind of a mouthful, I know, but it's just this idea that a bunch of rednecks built this big machine that does loops. And yeah, so, and if you're familiar with the history of Arrow Loopers and the Loch Ness Monster and stuff, they were a big deal back in the day. And, when you walk into Busch Gardens and you're walking through Scotland, Heather Downs, I believe is the proper terminology you use for that, you're walking right up into Loch Ness Monster's grill, and it's just kind of towering behind some trees. So that's exactly what I was going for here. I think I ripped it off pretty well, so thank you, Busch Gardens, for that inspiration. But this coaster's cool. This is actually the first roller coaster we built in the park, and namely because I wanted it to kind of serve as this centerpiece right when you walk in, but and I wanted it to interact, but I also wanted it to utilize a lot of terrain. Like I said earlier, I wanted to use a lot of terrain in this park. So what we got going on right here is you drop down into this valley, obviously, turn around into two double loops. Of course, we had to custom support this, by the way. It's the only way you can actually build an arrow looping coaster in this game. The standard in-game supports just look like crap. So yes. But yeah, and you go into these two vertical loops, and then this is really cool because I wanted this turnaround to kind of be right there. When you walk up onto the train station queue and stuff, it's just it's up there. Just location. There's two things that you have to, if you're a terrorist, or if, hopefully YouTube doesn't suppress my video because I said that, but unless you're a terrorist or a roller coaster, you really don't have to worry. But those two categories, location. And I think that terrorist joke was actually a ripoff of an old Jeff Dunham bit or whatever. I'm basically the Carlos Mencia of the Planet Coaster community. I will jack the shit out of your jokes. Anyway, yeah, so you come around this turnaround into a very unnecessary mid-course. And I guess kind of necessary mid-course. Nothing too spectacular. And then you just kind of go into these wonky arrow transitions, as you do on an arrow coaster. And you're just gradually going down into double corkscrews, baby. Oh, yeah. And, of course, they had to interact with the path. Of course, they had to interact with the path. Now's probably a good time to jump back into TEGIDCAM. Okay, so here we are in TEGIDCAM, and like I said, you're walking right up into the Appalachian Loopers grill, like quite literally. Cool carnival lights. I'll discuss this area here right after in a sec, but again, it's just this. I love this so much. I love how this little corner of the park turned out, and I think it's honestly, and I don't like, you know, sounding cocky and stuff anymore, at least, but I think this really does justice to the park when you first walk in. Kind of the vibe I'm trying to go for with the rest of the property and stuff is just, you know, interaction with the rides, you know, lines of sight, perspectives and stuff. Because, like, look at this right here. I mean, that's cool. Like, how sick is that? There's Iron Bandit towering 205 feet above Appalachia. And then you're walking right up under a classic Arrow Looping coaster. R.I.P. Vortex, by the way. Moment of silence for that ride real quick. And we're back. So, again, corkscrews had to interact with the paths. Oh my God. I wasn't stressing that enough when I was making this ride. Like, I knew that's exactly what I wanted it to do. And I wanted there to be a lot of trees and shade, but I also wanted to keep lines of sight. So these Brazilian nuts right here, I know quite a few guys that like Brazilian nuts. I wanted to keep a lot of line of sights and stuff. Like right here, this is another example of what I'm talking about. You know, lines of sight. Beautiful, right? You got this. Actually, let's get this coaster running right here. You know what? I'm not going to be lame and boring and all mysterious and stuff. And let's leave the viewers guessing, man, so they watch your other videos and then your channel grows. Nope, I'm going to show you guys right now. So let's see. Maybe we should press play first. Let's take a look around. Let's see what's going on. All right, where you at? Come on, babe. Okay, I still have to paint the trains still, and we went with shorter trains. I just think it looks kind of cool. But while that's going up the lift hill, this is Billy's Grub and Go. It's just a quick little shop. There's really no theme to this part of the park. This is just literally a path to cut you from the front to the back towards Blue Ridge Bicentennial, which is that way, and Roanoke Valley, which is that way. All right, here we go. So, like I said, just views, man. I think it looks sick. Let's fast forward this real quick. Here she comes. This is so sick. I love how this turned out. I just think that is so freaking cool. Sorry, I'm nerding out. This is like the first time I'm actually just chilling. Oh, what could this be? What in the world is that? That's an S&S Screaming Swing. But this is like my first time actually like going around and just looking around the park and taking it all in. And I'm actually pretty stoked right now. So you keep walking down here. This is going to be the Appalachian Aerial Acrobats. Again, another mouthful name, but you know what? This is an intellectual park, bro. So this is all very rough right here. Actually, get out of TEGIDCAM. This is all very rough right here, and I'm still not entirely sure if I want this to, you know, technically be in the Roanoke Valley section of the park over here or along this little path. I'm not sure what I'm going to call this yet, but it's there. So this is actually Saden Wolf. He built this rock climbing wall. This is from the Steam Workshop. I just thought it'd be a cool little kind of attraction to put in here, fill up some space, you know, just something to do so it's not just a straight path and all boring and stuff. So, yes. Let's go back over here. So you come down Settlers Avenue. You can either go straight right up under Appalachian Looper, the Appalachian Loopin Machine, and end up back here in this section of the park. I'll get to that in a sec. Actually, probably a second video. This is 20 freaking minutes, and I do not want to make a 30-minute video. So let's go over this in Franklin County, and then we'll call it a night. So this is a custom carousel skin that I built. This was a lot of trial and error, but it turned out okay enough, good enough for government work. But yeah, you know, you got the American swag and you got the lights, just because it adds a cool vibe. Let's go into nighttime real quick. it just adds such a cool vibe to the park. Like, I think that was something that was very necessary. And another thing is I'm just going to bombard, like, areas of the park with lights, you know, area lights, floodlights and stuff. So right up in here in this front section, we got green colors, and I think that turned out really cool. And then we have blue colors over here as you go into Franklin County. So with that said, let's head in that direction, shall we? Why not? So custom carousel skin. Got to fill in some space here. Like I said, the pathing tool, trash. Got to be I got to get creative with this, and I've been blocked and stumped for like a week and a half. So I'll fix this eventually. Got a Ferris wheel here. Very standard, typical stuff. You know, you got the path, or the queue path that just goes around the back, and you enter. I'll put this up on the Steam Workshop in phases. I got a couple more things I want to do before I do that, but this will be up within the week. Quote me on that and hold me to it. This will be on the Steam Workshop. You can come in and explore it for yourself. So, and then over here, this is where it gets really freaking cool. This is Franklin County. Franklin County. And if you followed the first Appalachian Adventure, you knew that that was my baby. I wanted to really do justice to this part of the park. So welcome to Franklin County. Shine Country. Bandit free, mostly, as you walk right up to a giant Iron Bandit sign. But let's backpedal real quick. So, like I said, I want it to feel like you are in the woods in this park. But you're not, because right on the side of this, you got the train, which, you know, defines more of a definitive barrier of the park, and then you got this massive backstage employee area and stuff. And I'll go over that in another video, because there's a couple things I want to get done before I really, I guess, showcase it. But you're at the very edge and corner of the park right here, but you wouldn't feel like it because it's just a shitload of trees. So you come through here, and I'll do a TEGIDCAM walkthrough, because you really kind of have to in these more narrow, closed-in parts of the park. But yeah, so I wanted to build a really big Brazilian nut tree, and I couldn't, you know, just do one and, you know, have it autosave. Sorry. I wanted to. So what you can do for trees in this game is you can take one tree, place it up above the ground, and then rotate it 90 degrees down to create a longer tree trunk and make it taller. Didn't really work with this, so I had to use like 4, and I figured I'd give it an appropriate name. This would be the wonky ass tree. So there's your wonky ass tree right there. It's just a little something something. So and then you walk straight back into the Iron Bandit entrance, and the next video will be an entire Iron Bandit overview, because I do have a few things I need to fix up in here, but I will show you a couple of things, I guess. The queue, the station needs a little bit of work, but it's relatively more or less just themed to a prison, obviously. I need to finish up this watchtower, and yeah, just kind of a steel mess of scaffolding and rope and wire. It looks like a prison to an extent. And that's kind of the point. You're chasing moonshine bandits through the outskirts of Franklin County. So there's that. You walk up here. We got 2 buildings that need to be completed. This one more or less is done. Pink house. Also, first aid. I wanted to add some color. I didn't want to keep running with the green, kind of the natural green and stuff. So I figured, fuck it, let's do pink. And then right next to that would be the Franklin County Courthouse. And this needs a lot of work, a lot of detailing and stuff to make it look a little bit more elegant, but we're also in bumfuck shine country, so it's not going to be too dolled up. But we got to finish up a few things here. And then you come along here, keep on coming down the path. Again, I'll jump in TEGIDCAM and then we'll call it a night, because this is taking way freaking longer than I thought. Big Bandit. And then these are going to be restrooms. There's actually restroom buildings in here. I just need to finish up this little building, because more so or not, I need to finish up the queue for Appalachian Loopin Machine, which is going to be over here. I'm not sure if I want to keep this gazebo or not. That's just kind of filling some space right now. But, like I said, keep coming down Franklin County. And again, this part of the park is not big. Like, Franklin County runs from the Ferris wheel to where you see it turn to tarmac. But I digress. And honestly, I think it's probably one of the better parts of the park so far, just because it's more or less done compared to everything else. So here's the restaurant, the distillery. And there's a funny story behind this, and I'm going to keep it brief. It was completely done, and then I accidentally clicked a piece that I didn't think was attached to it to delete it, and it just deleted this whole section of the restaurant. This part stayed right behind the actual moonshine still. This is all custom. This was a pain in the ass, and it looks kind of rough, and it looks kind of crappy, but that's kind of the point. That's kind of the vibe we're going for, so it stays. But, yes. So this is the distillery. There's a functioning restaurant in there. We have a bar right here with a bunch of wanted, signs. That's the running theme throughout the park for the campaign. You're trying to catch these moonshine bandits. And this would really be my stomping grounds because if I can go grab a drink and then just step back, shit, that was too far back. Step back, and I am right under. All right, fuck it. We're going to TEGIDCAM. I can't keep doing it. Can't keep doing this, man. All right, there we go. Almost every employee in this park is named TEGIDCAM. I do apologize. But, so yeah, got the distillery right here. I need to finish this up. It's really just going to be like a patio kind of vibe, so you're really not missing a whole lot. But I really wanted it to be like right up under Iron Bandit's grill. Like, that was all intentional. So yeah, which is really cool. But like I was saying, this would be my nirvana. I would be here drinking, and then I'd be stepping back, and then I'd grab a drink and step back. One more drink, step back. Another drink, last one I promise. Step back, and then stagger over to Iron Bandit and go for a ride. Let's just take a quick look at these buildings over here, and then I'll go ahead and stop boring you guys. Like I said, sightlines. There's a cool Ferris wheel thing. And I wanted to use attractions as focal points for where you're going throughout this park because it is more or less confined and not wide open, so it's not like a bunch of paths where you're just walking one direction. It's kind of windy and hilly and stuff, so if you see that, you know you're going in the right direction to get the hell out of here because the park entrance is that way. So, like I said, we got the Franklin County Courthouse, which needs some work. Pink House, first aid. Almost done. Needs a little bit more work. A couple of minor details here and there, just because most of my building is done after like 10 at night, and after about like 2 hours, I just get exhausted. So I get lazy and sloppy. I'm sorry. It won't happen again, but it most definitely will happen again. So, like I said, welcome to Franklin County, Shine Country. Bandit free, mostly. And then there's the sign. I'm not sure if I like this sign or not. Leave a comment down below with your opinion on the sign because I'm not entirely sure. I'd really like to get some feedback from you guys on what your opinions on this sign is. I think it kind of works. I think I'm heading in the right direction, but it still looks kind of tacky. Like, I don't know. I'm on the fence about it. So, come up here. There's a crashed cop car, I guess, chasing after the bandits. There's a Roanoke Valley sign, which we'll get to in a second video, I guess. But you just walk down here through Franklin County. This is Bondurant. The Bondurant brothers were the Moonshine Bandits in Franklin County. If you've ever seen the movie Lawless, it's all based off of a true story. So Bondurant, shipping and logistics in quotations. Totally not moonshine. Carry on now. These are actual stills from the Steam Workshop, and it kicks me to not acknowledge the creator because these are perfect for what we're going for in this park. So whoever created those, I'll go ahead and actually I'll go back and look at it and then put it down in the description. But shout out whoever made those because you saved my ass, man. I didn't want to have to build those from scratch. So like I said, Iron Bandit. One more thing about this. And then I'll shut up and I'll do a standalone video when all the supports are finally done. I wanted to really incorporate a really cool backstage area, like a realistic park would. Like, this is the path right here, coming from the Ferris wheel all the way down up until this asphalt right here. That's the park. This is where guests go. Not back here, but if you zoom out, it just looks like a bunch of, open space and stuff. Which is kind of, if you look at aerial theme park pictures and stuff, that's kind of what the deal is, because there's a lot more backstage than you think when you're there in the park. Working at King's Dominion really taught me that. There were so many nooks and crannies behind the scenes and big areas that I didn't even know existed. but they do. And it's on us to make sure the guests never see that stuff. So we gotta get creative with lines of sight and blocking that. But this was a very necessary backstage area because you'd have to access this structure somehow. And I figured what better way to do that than just incorporate a big backstage area, kind of the end of the line of the backstage roads for at least this side of the park. And we went ahead and built some storage sheds or storage warehouses, I guess. These are Rebel Trillions, 18-wheeler, I guess, what have you, not truck parts, okay? I'm at a loss for words right now. I'm tired. But this is his, but I did strip it down substantially because this thing was eating parts that, for what I'm going for, aren't necessary. But I made sure to leave his little handle right there because, give credit where credit is due. But, yeah, so we got this cool backstage area. Got a pickup truck. And this was also very necessary because we had to create an access point for the distillery to drop off food deliveries and stuff like that. So we got to build a big door right there. Big door. Really cool. Build a door right there, and, theoretically you would access the back part of the restaurant. And if you worked in the restaurant, you would enter through there. But there is an access point out into the park right here. Employees only. And, you got a little shaded kind of break smoke area, I guess. And then this is where things got interesting because the terrain here had to be really sunk down because Iron Bandit, goes way low compared to where it started out. It's a 217, will you adjust? Thank you. It's a 217 foot drop off of a 205 foot lift hill. So that's about 12 feet of elevation change right there. And I didn't want it to just be a brick wall, or not a brick wall, a rock kind of wall thing. If you just use the terrain paint, this tree is having a bad day. Let's see. Let's put you right there for now. But so I just built up a wall out of rough concrete pieces, and then built up this extended backstage area and used, I think, the castle windows for this. Now, this is cool. If you're on the train, and I'll do a video on the train, I guess. There's so much shit in this park. I wish I didn't start so late to start doing videos on it, because now I'm playing catch-up, and I don't want to play catch-up. I'm more of a mustard guy anyway. But it's an Alpine Village sign that was an idea for Hamlet of the Park that I don't think will come to fruition, but it'd be kind of, if you're a park nerd and you come to this park and you would see that, you would know what the hell it is and be like, oh, it's kind of cool. So yeah, the train crosses through here, crosses through Iron Bandits, I guess you could call it. Not a spaghetti bowl. It's eventful part. I have to finish these supports, but yeah. Cool stuff. So this backstage area is just an extended backstage area. This would be an employee lounge or something, break room. We got a truck that's going to go out and deliver some, landscaping department stuff, what have you, whatnot. I need to finish up this storage shed, and then we are done with this little backstage area of the park. And then we have to do it all back here again. So that'll be fun. Yeah, backstage area right here runs all the way to Iron Bandit. This will be an employee parking lot. And the access points for this are right here if you're an employee, or, well, if you're an employee for all of it, but the access points are there, I guess, if you're just walking out into the park, and this would be for trucks to get in and out of the park, delivery, storage, what have you, whatnot. And, yeah, that's really all I got for you guys right now. This right here will be the Roanoke Valley section. This is all very rough. This building is atrocious. It's not staying, I promise. But we just have to build some kind of brick, old school skyscrapers and stuff. And that hill is going to get used for something very cool. But I don't want to jump the gun on that just yet. So that would be Roanoke Valley. And then we got Minetown right in here with the log flume, the bear, Minetown Mothman, a arrow suspended coaster, which, again, big Busch Gardens vibes. Duh. I'm going to build some cool houses and scenery and stuff around in here and give it a real big bad wolf kind of vibe. But this is all very rough. This is all very, very rough and needs to be worked on heavily. And I'll go ahead and do videos on that because I really do like this section of the park, except for this I don't know what I was thinking when I built this building. It's atrocious, but yeah. So that's Minetown. I'll do a video on that. This will be This is Handyman Hills, which is kind of a Craftsman Valley inspired area of the park at Dollywood Craftsman Valley, I believe it's called. Yeah. Basically just celebrating the American working spirit. There's our Skycoaster, and then we have Bigfoot back there, the B&M dive coaster. But like I said, there's a lot of work that has to be done on this side of the park, and I'll just go ahead and address it in a separate video once I get more done, hopefully soon. I need to get the Iron Bandit point of view out first, though, so we'll take care of that. But this is Handyman Hills. This is going to run basically where you see the train bridge right here, where it turns from asphalt to a rock kind of path. This is going to run all the way back here, where you see this little wild mouse. So it's a big section of the park. We got quite a few things and areas to fill in. Got a rapids ride we're rough drafting, and these coasters back here are all rough drafts. But they're going to stay in some form or another. We got a flying coaster. This originally started out as a inverted coaster. So the transitions on this are terrible with the flying trains. I got to go in and literally redo the whole thing as a flying coaster if I want it to be smooth. And we do want it to be smooth because, well, duh. This is a RMC T-Rex. 2 RMCs in one park. How lucky are these bastards, right? Not sure what I'm going to do with that quite yet, and I'm not really too keen on the color either, but that's just, it's a work in progress. And then we got this multi-launch. I used the Copperhead Strike, which is a mock coaster, but use your imagination. This is an Intamin. So this is going to be Shenandoah Hot Shots. And again, if you remember Appalachian Adventure 1.0, I guess you could call it that we did have a Shenandoah Hot Shot roller coaster in the works there. That's just an roided up, cracked out version of that. So, I don't know. It's cool. I don't know what to tell you guys. There's a lot of shit in here, and I probably missed a lot of it, but it's already been 40 minutes, and I don't want to waste any more of your time. Honestly, if you made it this far, DM me, give me your phone number, and I will marry you. Not actually. That was so freaking weird. But if you made it this far, I do appreciate you so much. It really does mean a lot because I literally just took 40 minutes out of my day to ramble about a fictional theme park on my computer. Freaking nerdy ass shit. But if there's people out there who enjoy it, that just makes my heart so damn happy. So I do appreciate you if you made it this far. There's a lot more we got to go over. And if there's stuff in here that you saw that I didn't address, or you got questions, please drop a comment down below. I'll get back to you. I'll hit me up on Instagram. Hit me up on any social media. I will get back to you. I will talk to you about it because this is fun. This is what I'm going to be filling my time with this off season, along with a couple other exciting endeavors. We're moving, literally, but I'm not going to get in my personal life and stuff. But that's going to take up a lot of my time, so I'm going to try and backlog some footage and stuff here before January. But yeah, so we'll go over Minetown and Handyman Hills and all that good stuff in another video, and the story so far 2.0, I guess. Be on the lookout for an Iron Bandit video with a point of view. I know I've really been slacking on that, but I've just had no motivation to keep working on it because I've already spent so much damn time on it, and I'm very, very over it. Anyway, I do appreciate you if you stuck it out this far. Or if you're using the timestamps down in the description, you're cheating the system, but rendering back and forth between videos helps the algorithm and stuff. So I'm not complaining. But yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I will see you in the next one, and we'll be back. It'll be fun. All right. See you guys in a little bit.